You guys had enough of Scrapper yet? No? Good, because we're going to see him a few more times after this. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant. Welcome back for more of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. Last time, we made our way up, I almost called it Death Mountain, to the very top of Elden Volcano, and opened up the final dungeon with the last flame that we need to collect. Let's not waste any time and head right in. And for once, we have a proper temple-like dungeon. Welcome to the Fire Sanctuary. You'd think another fire-like area would be very, very similar to the Earth Temple that we went through, but the feel of this place is entirely different. It really does feel like an area of specific importance. But you can see there are some different mechanics. For instance, these fruits. I believe they're called water fruits. And just like dumping water into the lava in Wind Waker, it forms platforms for us to jump across, or even ride, depending on where it is we're going. And we can't go that way, because we need a small key. And along the way, I only have one arrow. This is going to be terrible. I probably should have picked up a few more. Because normally what you can do is just walk, as you're going around, you can shoot at these guys, and it's kind of a fun, like, on-rails shooter section, if you want to make it that way. I'm not even going to spawn on that platform. It's going to make me go all the way back around. Wonderful. Fantastic. He happened to shoot me at the absolute worst possible time. It made me spawn all the way back here. And I have to ride all the way back there. You know what, while we're waiting for that stupid thing, maybe we can get some more arrows. And a fairy for health, it can't hurt. So let's actually do this the way I prefer to do it, and I forgot how to do the quick draw for the bow again, because I'm just not used to doing it. It's going to take a little extra effort for me to do that. I have to consciously think to draw the bow with the left hand, and I think I mentioned this when we were on the sand ship. I just don't think to do that, because it isn't natural for a right-hander to do. But the reason we have to ride this all the way back down here is for a chest that, of course, contains a small key for us to go through the door. So already this dungeon is giving me more trouble than it should. And across the way, you might also notice that there are vines that we can... I keep calling these hook shots for some silly reason. Though I don't remember if there's anything useful in here. No? I don't think I've ever been in here. I guess I'm justified in my never coming here. But nope, you can't skip this guy. Forget the Magmas exist? Yep, digging mitts. They're super helpful. I'm on a quest for a flame. You know anything about a flame? Nice to meet you, Gold. Big boss of the Magmas. You invented them. Why would you need to invent them? Don't you grow with digging claws naturally? I appreciate it, but did you really need to make them? I've found more treasure in the last 15 hours than you have in your entire life, I can assure you of that. I have the collection count to prove it. Huge treasure. Well, I'll come back and tell you all about it. How's that sound? But pretty much. Okay, two statues who face one another. Jump into the mouth of the sleeping statue. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Thanks for your help, Gold. That was your name, right? Will do. See you later, buddy. Thanks for the digging mitts, by the way. And we encounter another dungeon where a decent chunk of it is outdoors. And I have to say, I really love the aesthetics in here. The visuals are really, really nice. You have this whole indoor-outdoor thing. It feels like a proper sanctuary-like area. I love it. I'm not the biggest fan of a number of these dungeons or how annoying some of them are to go through, but I really love the look. Like I said when we first started playing the game, I'm not the biggest fan of the Skyward Sword visuals, but they really have grown on me the more I've played through it. And I think the Fire Sanctuary is the most beautiful looking of the dungeons. Now we can go down here, but I don't think there's anything we can do. Maybe we should go back up. There are a number of places in this dungeon where the path splits, and it's easy to forget what you can and can't do. The way here may be a shortcut back later on, or I may be thinking of something else. As if we really need rupees at this point. There are like 1 or 2 things that we have left to buy, and we're pretty good on money. You can kind of see that's where we're headed, ultimately. The other side of that wall. So you gotta make our way all the way around. And the music here, too, is really nice. Now you see this guy over here, and this lava-filled area down here. We can't go that way yet, but we'll be able to go there later. But behind us we have a lava hand, and you can see it's going to be jumping out of the lava to hit us. But if we stand on a platform, he won't be able to grab us. He'll instead be forced to grab the rock, and that'll lift us up. So many arrows to pick up, too. I don't know why I didn't bother to stop and pick up the arrows before jumping on the platform in the beginning. Opening up the video with that just makes me feel like so much of an idiot. And I'm also tempted, whenever I see a guy with a monster horn, to try and use the... Don't think I don't see you there, buddy. I'm always tempted to use the whip, because I don't really... Come back here, I want to shoot you. Anybody else around here? Yep, but yeah, like you can see the sky outside there. It's really, really nice. I just love dungeons that don't feel like dungeons. They feel completely different than anywhere you've ever been before. Even if it's a fire sanctuary, a fire temple, blah, blah, blah. We've seen all that stuff before, right? But it feels completely different. And even if it's a pain to go through, it's nice to see the changing visuals every now and again. Speaking of changing visuals, palette swaps. I tried to pull up my shield, it didn't let me. Okay, so you're just like the Lizalfos that we've been fighting all along. Well, that was a mini-boss. Oh, I thought the lizard tail was going to spawn inside me. Careful where you put that thing, by the way. Got a ton of spikes in there. But you can see, we're going to be making our way along this chasm. We started off behind us, and we're going to be slowly making our way towards that section of the sanctuary. So we're going back and forth between these two, making our way across the chasm, and ultimately towards that giant building. So you can see, all along the path here, we'll be making our progress towards the other end of the sanctuary. And you can visually track that progress as we make our way outdoors. So of course these guys will be popping. I keep holding down the A button when I should be drawing back with the C stick. I don't know why I'm not... Hold out a C stick. Too much smash maybe? And I feel like there's another thing that we should be doing in here with the beetle involved. I mean, it's not grabbing the rupees. I think you can see that we're supposed to be making our way along the river, of lava here, but the problem is the lava isn't flowing. And we need to get it flowing. This is going to be a little mechanic that will show up in a number of different points throughout our adventure, where you're going to want to get a lava flow going, because you're not going to be able to use a platform unless you do that. And I think we're going to have to go all the way through, otherwise we're not going to be able to turn around with the bomb. The easier way to go is through here, I just wanted the money. But again, this guy is really sensitive in terms of what he collides with. But you can see there's a little bit of lava coming through this guy's mouth, so we gotta blow it open. And that'll get the lava moving. So now we'll be able to ride a platform from the fruit the same way we were able to do at the very beginning of the dungeon. So we can break this thing down. And you may have noticed the dark keys and these guys. They'll be shooting little things of purple at us. And if you've played any other Zelda games, you probably know that purple stuff curses you and prevents you from using any of your items, including your sword. So it's really annoying to get struck by those. Where are you even going to tell me? You're just a Mogma. Alright, have fun dying. I'll just be over here not saving you. This is another thing that stumped me for the longest time, because you can use the claw shots to get over to this thing. And you can see that there is a treasure chest over here, which probably has a small key. Because there was a locked door. But how in the world are we supposed to get out, because this stuff is in the way? But they do have a little block of... Hi there, Mr. Hand Dude. How are you doing today? But you can see these little patches of dust that we know we can blow away with the gust bellows. You can do the same thing with this fire stuff. Don't ask me why. It seems pretty silly and non-intuitive, but they made it that way for some reason. I don't know. But at least we can make our way forward. We'll probably be back to save that Mogma dude a little later, but for now there's nothing we can do. And here we see that there are these plants that we can... I wasn't trying to dig, I was trying to show these off. If you stab, you can carry one along with you on your sword without breaking it. And we're going to want to bring one with us, because you can see there's a frog up there. And by going to look, it got rid of the fruit. Okay, interesting. There's a treasure chest over here too I always forget about, because it only has 20 rupees and it isn't worth it. But you can see these little fruits are growing all over the place. And we'll fire these. I think this is just a big treasure, too. A lot of the treasures at this point we really don't need. I don't know why I'm wasting my time finding them. Maybe so it doesn't bother me that they would appear unopened on the map. Although that hasn't bothered me at this point, either. Some more of these chews. Didn't necessarily want to pick up that fruit, but I have a tendency to stab at the end of any of my sword combos. And just like anything else, we can toss the water fruits. And that opens up our way forward. So you can see more of these guys over here. We can ignore them completely and make our way through. So now we have another room with the lava hands underneath us. But we can't leave this time. We're going to actually have to fight back against these things. And now that we know that we can use the water fruits, maybe we can do something about the lava hands. So the idea is you want to group them together if you can. And if you're careful, you would have been able to use the water fruit on them. Since I'm incompetent, I wasn't able to do that, and we're going to need to get rid of another one. But you can actually freeze both of them at the same time if you're careful about it. And the idea is you want to smack it with your sword until it breaks. So we've only got one left to deal with. And if we're able to get him to raise the platform for us, we'll be able to grab another water fruit. Although I believe this is the only one that you can ride. Maybe the other one goes up to water fruit too? I don't remember off the top of my head. But it's kind of creative. It's not the most difficult thing to do in the world, but I think it's a bit of a creative mini-boss. I'm a fan. Pretty easy to defeat, but interesting in concept. And defeating those two will drain the lava in the area. And it'll save that guy, too. So now that the lava's gone, we can go save him. And you can see in there is where the small key chest was with the clawshot target. So we're in the other room now. Just the same way you were able to see that dude. And I believe we came from the door up there. So we'll want to make our way through the one on the ground. And hopefully this will bring us back around to the magma we just saved. So we can pick up a nice handy reward. Because I'm sure he's going to give us something nice for saving him. So we're going to want to... I forget, how do we save you, buddy? You have any idea how we're supposed to get you down from there? Well... I have a feeling this isn't going to help. We'll do it anyway. Cut it down? Nope. There's only one thing we really can do, and that's jump down here. But that thing's just going to give us hearts. And this is going to show us that we can't get into the other side. And this is also going to be hearts. Well, buddy, you're out of luck. I don't think this switch is going to do anything. You're just going to have to stay there and... Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to save you. You want to get back up on the chain? Yeah, I'm always looking for treasure, right? I'm actually here for a flame, but I have a feeling that sleeping statue might be helpful. I don't know, they've gotten me a decent chunk of treasure already. Alright. Alright, thanks, buddy. I'll see you around. And for saving him, we get an upgrade to the digging nets. The magma nets. And these will allow us to burrow our way underground, just like the magmas do. So any place that we saw a hole like this that looks like it's a little bit open, we can burrow into and crawl around. So you can shake the remote to clear a path if the rocks are breakable. And we can also look above ground by holding down the Z button. So you can see where we came in was this hole. And across the way is the other room we wanted to get into. So we can also use bombs to blow open rocks down here, and like always we can hurry around by holding down the A button. Uses up stamina. But the idea is we want to use these to get to the opposite side. So now we'll be able to dig underground to get places we weren't able to go before. And it's nice, I guess. I'm not the biggest fan of burrowing underground for this sort of thing. But it's a nifty little mechanic they added. They don't use it too often. Mainly just in this area and other places or in and around Eldin. But we can't get through here because we don't have a small key. So chances are one of these little fire things is going to have underneath it a digging spot for us that we can burrow into. And the interesting thing about this particular area is we're directly underneath where we fought the Magmanos, the Fire Hands. This is directly underneath that arena. I think it's really clever how they have all of these places connected to each other. You can see previous rooms from ones you're currently exploring. I really like that. But you can see underneath here we have a kind of switch mechanic going on. And the gate up there is the one we weren't able to get through. That'll move it out of the way. So now we'll be able to make our way up there. So they do a number of little things with this burrowing underground. It's kind of tedious to do, but it's an interesting mechanic nonetheless.